As if you want to join the commentary and let us know where you're listening and what you want to say. As if you want to join
part of the game is that Liverpool are having all
let
of the
us
ball.
know where you're
72%. Nottingham Forest predictably are not being as aggressive now as they were in the first 10. They're sort of dropping off, getting their breath back to a degree and making sure they keep their shape. But then once Liverpool get into their half, that's when they go and get tight. We see it here, and they steal the ball back. That's the game plan, John.
Yeah.
And it's whether they can be clinical and create chances on the break. So far, Alisson's had nothing to do.
No. Here's Van Dijk finding Robertson for Liverpool. Nate Boogie is with us early morning in Memphis, listening and enjoying proper football. My Gunners are top of the table. Here's Elliot. Yeah, I wondered how long it would take. Yeah. Surprisingly, you haven't mentioned that yet, but no, fair play to Arsenal. They've been terrific. Winners again in midweek. Here's Curtis Jones clipping it away towards Harvey Elliott, but Nico Williams is in the way. Gets it back from Jesse Lingard, but then gives it away. Fabinho with the cover. Here's Elliott. He's been tripped by McKenna, and that will be a free kick to Liverpool. Or was it Williams? One of the two.
He's got some skill, hasn't he? Just dips.
Williams it was. Going into his former teammate. They'd know each other well.
They would, yeah. They'd probably played a few under 23 games together as well. He's a real talent, Harvey Elliott. By the way, Liverpool are not in a 4-3-3 today. It is a retention of 4-4-2. It's Salah and Firmino up top, and it's Harvey Elliott wide right, Fabio Carvalho wide left. Jurgen Klopp really has changed his ways. He's moving away from 4-3-3. And look, it's not many managers are doing that at the moment.
It's not a fashionable formation.
It really isn't. It really isn't.
It used to be the norm for everybody.
But I think they needed to get Salah in closer to the opposition goal. And he needs to be a little bit more central.
Salah is currently Liverpool's second all-time Premier League scorer, behind only Robbie Fowler. He also has 49 Premier League assists, as does Firmino, who's on the ball now but won't get a chance to make it 50, as the ball, to the delight of the Nottingham Forest fans at the Trent End, are watching as the ball dribbles out of play.
Yeah, it's a poor one from Harvey Elliott. Just been bigging him up, but that was a really sloppy overhit pass that goes out for a goal kick. And look, I don't think we've really settled down yet. It's a little bit bitty. Nottingham Forest need to get into Liverpool's half a little bit more often, that's for sure, just to ease the pressure on their defence. This is good play though.
Lingard, he's overhit it though. Awoniyi, the tall Nigerian number 9, preferred to Brennan Johnson today. He's actually another one who started his career at Liverpool. Awoniyi.
Yes, that's right.
He was a Liverpool youth player. He never made any appearances for them. And
Klopp will know him well.
Subsequently ended up at Union Berlin via various clubs. Came in July for 17 million. Has got 2 goals so far this season.
He was good last season in the Bundesliga though. I wrote a piece on him for the Premier League ahead of this season, so I did a lot of research around him, and he's scored some good goals. A lot of them running through 1v1s, a few inside the box, powerful headers. He's a strong boy, but he was a real menace in the Bundesliga. He has potential to shine for Forest, but it's difficult for anyone to shine at the moment because they're not a proper team.
Milner down the line to Firmino. Firmino flicks it back towards James Milner, and Milner wins the ball, and then with a cheeky back heel tried to find Firmino, but unfortunately Firmino didn't expect that to come, and Jurgen Klopp applauds. Might be his last appearance in the dugout for a while. He's waiting to see whether he will be suspended after that red card that he got. Steve Cooper has signed a new contract for Nottingham Forest. I mean, this is the opposite of what normally happens, where a team are struggling, usually or often, as we've seen with Villa, the manager goes, but Forest have given him a new deal.
Well, he was brilliant last year. The only reason they're in the Premier League is because Steve Cooper was
They were bottom when he took over.
He was magic last season.
Brilliant.
Everything he touched turned to gold last season, and you shouldn't forget that. I applaud their decision to say, no, actually, the manager's one of our big assets. He's staying.
Here's Gibbs White for Forest. Opportunity to attack the Liverpool area. Awoniyi lays it back. There's the shot. and it's from Checo Kouyaté, and it's easily claimed by Alisson, but it's an effort on target for Nottingham Forest, who worked it well. Gibbs White's been very lively, and when the ball was held up well by Awoniyi, Kouyaté, who's not a renowned goal scorer, rather underhit the shot, and Alisson made a straightforward save.
It's a weak shot, but the play is good, isn't it? From the turnover, I thought Gibbs White was excellent. Fed it into Awoniyi, and his hold-up play was excellent. He good awareness as well to pick out Kouyaté, and it's a shot on target, and they didn't have one, did they, at the Amex Stadium last time out in that goalless draw? So progress for Nottingham Forest.
Kouyaté has already scored this season against Bournemouth in a game they lost. Here's Curtis Jones for Liverpool, and Mo Salah, who certainly knows where the goal is, couldn't find it on that occasion. Curtis Jones cut it back. Salah arriving on his left foot, and the ball was deflected wide for a corner. Yeah,
that's sloppy marking. He's allowed to drift in between Cook and Aurier there. Curtis Jones from central midfield position. Robertson slips him in. Someone's got to track him. He cuts the ball back for Salah, and the shot's well blocked.
It was the Scottish international Scott McKenna who made the block. Now we have a corner. Another Scottish international. McKenna's captain, Andy Robertson, will take it. It's an outswinger from the far side. Van Dijk climbs, and he looked as if he got some good height and was in the right sort of position for that, but the ball bypassed him.
Yeah, he was completely free, Virgil van Dijk, and that normally ends badly for the opposition. But on that occasion, the ball I think just went over his head. I don't know if he mistimed his jump, but
there is a bit of sunshine around. Maybe that got in his eyes. The goalkeeper's wearing a cap.
Yeah, the fans on that far side are shielding their eyes.
It's coming from that Trent area. Can't overstate what a fantastic setting this is. I mean, if you're a fan of football, you've got two clubs, and if you're a fan of cricket as well, you've got three stadiums within. It's superb. It's also Nottingham, the centre of the British water sports. So a lot of rowers and canoeists, and I think it's Hurstpierpoint it's called, isn't it?
Yeah, if you like sport, Nottingham is a great place to be.
It certainly is. And they're enjoying it at the moment. Unfortunately, Notts County, who you can literally see the floodlights from here, they're in the non-league echelons now, but they're top of the conference at the moment. We'd love to see them come back.
Absolutely.
My daughter's at Nottingham University, and she's loving it. And we went to see Notts County. Brilliant little club, really nice ground. We had 10,000 for a non-league game against Chesterfield. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it's good. I played there.
Here's Gomez. He's giving it away. Forward it comes towards Gibbs White, who tries a flick, gets a second chance, finds Serge Aurier, who knows all about the Premier League from his Tottenham days, and he has it now, and he's got a man out wide, but he's ignored that. He's found Gibbs White, and it might have been better to play Kouyaté down the line, and I think that's what Kouyaté is telling Aurier in no uncertain fashion.
He is, but Gibbs White looks bright, doesn't he? Getting the ball, flicking it around the corner, he's dribbling with the ball, he's travelling with it nicely. Saw a lot of him in the Championship last year, and he was excellent. I thought he was brilliant, and I'm pleased for him that he's getting the chance in the Premier League, because Wolves didn't really give him enough opportunities, in my opinion. I think he's someone that could have really helped Wolves moving forward.
Another one of your Gooner mates here, Brent Parker, early morning in Memphis, listening to Talk Sport, enjoying proper football, and the Gunners are top of the table.
Nice one, Brent. Yeah.
You only sing when you're winning.
Well, look, we're just enjoying it while it's lasting. I know. So I don't think there's a Gooner out there that thinks it will last forever.
Here's Harvey Elliott into the box. It's a weaving run by the youngster. He still has it. He chips it up towards Salah. He gets his header in, and it goes wide. Or was it Carvalho? One of them.
Sort of came off his back, didn't it?
Anyway.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good forward pass, wasn't it? From Milner into Harvey Elliott. He jinks, he turns, he digs out a lovely cross, actually. And Carvalho, who's not the biggest, tries to attack it. Who does it come off last? I think, it comes off his head, but there's no way that's ever threatening the goal. But going back to Arsenal, Arsenal fans are happy to gloat at the moment, but I think we all know that Man City, it's only a matter of time before they overtake us.
I'm being a devil's advocate because I know you so well. I'm pleased for you. I don't support Arsenal, but I live in a part of North London where a lot of people do. Here's Morgan Gibbs White for Nottingham Forest, tackled by Carvalho, tidied up by Robertson. Here's Jones for Liverpool, who clips it away towards the far side, where James Milner has a little bit of space in front of him, and Harvey Elliott is there too, plays a diagonal ball into Salah, and then Elliott with a quick ball forward towards Firmino. It's defended by Cook. And Nico Williams does well. Oh, he'll have loved that. He's sold 2 of his former teammates' dummies there. And he's found Jesse Lingard, more importantly for Forest. Williams, the Welsh international, has continued his run down the left-hand side, but the wily James Milner gets there. The ball is won back by Liverpool. I'm not entirely keen on the word turnover that we keep hearing. It's a bit of a rugby thing, isn't it? But I know what, I suppose it is a turnover. That's what happened there, I know. Yeah. It's just it's come into the parlance more lately.
It has for sure. That was good twinkle-toed play, though, from Nico Williams, who's more comfortable on the right, we know that, but he's doing the job out there at left-back today. Playing ahead of Lodi, playing ahead of Toffolo, so he's someone the manager rates.
Knock, hasn't he? Here's Milner finding Elliott slipping it through towards Salah. It's well read by McKenna, who comes charging out of defence and plays a useful ball up towards Amoni if he can keep it in, which he can, and he's looking to take on Gomez here. Amoni into the box, shoots without any power at all, and it takes one bounce and obligingly plops into the gloves of Alisson.
It's weak, isn't it? I mean, it's 2 shots on target, but 2 really sort of tame efforts from Koyate and now Awoniyi. But it was a good piece of play. McKenna comes out from the back, releases him down the left, and he drops inside really nicely. He does the right thing. He just doesn't connect very well with the ball when he's looking to curl it into that far top corner. But they're having their moments, aren't they, Nottingham Forest?
And they're not overawed and they're not outclassed, are they?
No, this is a competitive match at the moment. It feels like if Liverpool are to win it, they'll have to work hard for it today.
They will. 25 minutes gone, Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 0. Samuel Barnes is with us in Greensboro, North Carolina. Any thoughts on Poch becoming the new Villa manager, lifelong Villa and Walsall fan from Lichfield?
No, not far from each other, are they, those 2 clubs?
What about that? Is that a possible? I'm not sure if it's...
I mean, maybe. Villa have got money.
It would be a very good appointment. I'm not sure he'd go there, would he? I don't know.
It's quite a come down from PSG.
Yeah, I mean, Villa are a bit like Forest, aren't they? I mean, they're former European champions, very old traditional club, but their best days are a little way off, aren't they?
Well, you'd say that he should be a better manager than Steven Gerrard. He's got a lot more experience. I'm not a huge Pochettino fan, though. I have to say, I've always been a little bit sceptical.
What, because of the style of play?
No, I like the style of play. I just think when the going gets tough, Pochettino's teams often crumble.
Yeah.
And we've seen that with Spurs and with PSG. So probably an upgrade on Gerrard, but will he take the gig? That is the question.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Thanks for that, Samuel. Lichfield's a lovely town. Here's Lingard keeping the ball in well, stumbling but getting back to his feet and finding Aurier. First time cross towards Alisson. It's an awkward one, and the Liverpool goalkeeper's fingertip just flapped that away out of harm's way. But Forest, you can hear the roar.
Won it back again, didn't they, inside Liverpool half?
Van Dijk gets there though ahead of Lingard.
They're in their faces, aren't they, John? It's good to see a team like Nottingham Forest not be afraid of this challenge. They're approaching it with enthusiasm.
We talked about the 2 efforts on target being weak ones, which they were. I don't think Liverpool have fashioned an effort on target yet, have they? But and they haven't created very much in and around Dean Henderson's area at all, really.
The one from Carvalho early on was well saved, wasn't it, from Dean Henderson? That was good. A lovely lofted pass from Elliott to him.
The block.
So that was a good save.
But that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, you're right. It's amazing how quickly you forget things with the pace of the game. 28 minutes we've had. Milner crosses halfway for Liverpool, who've been unconvincing, I would say, so far, given that they are playing a team who are short of confidence, short of points and bottom of the table. They haven't been ruthless, have they?
No, I mean, they're not playing terribly, but they're not dominating, they're not slicing through Nottingham Forest with ease. They don't look at their best.
Here's Robertson down the line. Sorry,
players missing, John.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, a Nunez or a Diaz is the sort of player who will run at Forest with pace, with guile. I mean, they've got Elliott's not quite that sort of player, nor is Carvalho, the direct, skillful, cutting in from the flanks, that sort of thing. They don't have that, do they?
Yeah, inverted wingers, aren't they?
Yes,
really?
Yes.
And there's a lot of responsibility on them to have two really young players in those key positions out wide at the same time is exciting, but also it lacks something, doesn't it? It lacks top level experience. So yeah, look, this is a good game so far. Not stacks of chances, but it's interesting. And Forest,
Kuyate's done well to find Lingard, but Lingard's offside. There's a flag up just behind him when he turns round.
Forest have got a taste for it, that's what makes it so sort of edge of your seat at the moment.
Gevorkian Artem, although I'm guessing that's probably Artem Gevorkian, is with us in Foster City in California. Let's go Liverpool. I've never heard of Foster City. Where's that? Is that North or South California?
Foster City.
I don't know if it's a suburb of either.
Like
San
a Liverpool
Francisco
fans everywhere, aren't there? Yeah, they get everywhere.
They do. Here's James Milner flicking it forward. Harvey Elliott does well. Here's Salah. There's room for a shot, and he's underhit his, rather like the shots at the other end from Forest, and it's dribbled into Dean Henderson's grateful grasp.
Did well, didn't he, to let the ball run across his body, Mo Salah. Harvey Elliott it was again, who's been pretty instrumental, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Been really busy and lively on the right. He squares it. Salah lets it go across his body, but he's stretching as he strikes the ball, and it's a bit feeble.
2 shots on target each for the competing sides here, as Fabinho finds Carvalho, who can't find Salah, and then Awani does well, and the ball is flicked forward by Gibbs-White. Here's Awani, he's got Lingard peeling away. Here's Jesse Lingard, and it's straight at Alisson again, but that was well worked. Awani did well with the hold-up play, and this time he found the right pass. Lingard hit it pretty hard, but he didn't hit it sufficiently either side of the keeper.
Forest fans are enjoying this game. More threats from Steve Cooper's Nottingham Forest in this half an hour than there's been in the last two games. I mean, at Wolves it was really just the odd set piece chance. Nothing, absolutely nothing at Brighton, but here on the counter attack, on those transitions, they are causing Liverpool problems. That's 3 efforts on target, and that was the best of the lot, wasn't it? Awani plays in Lingard down the left, and 1v1 he strikes it cleanly this time, but Alisson didn't look like he was going to drop the ball. He had it covered.
Milner finds Firmino, I should say, flicks it over the top to Salah. Salah turns, he goes down in the box. No way, that was a pen. It's Fabinho back out to Milner. Milner trying to get forward. He was obstructed there, I think. He was on the edge of the penalty area. So Liverpool will have a free kick in a useful position. Paul Tierney, I think, has made the right call there. Or did Firmino deliberately run into his man? Definitely not a penalty is the first thing to say.
I don't know why Mo Salah's hurt. As for the free kick, I think it is obstruction from Nico Williams. Milner just knocks the ball past him, uses all of that experience we were talking about earlier to draw the block, and they win the free kick in a good position. I don't understand why Mo Salah's injured here, because it was
very little contact.
It was like a gentle push.
He's still down.
He hits the deck.
Maybe he's hurt his shoulder, is it? I'm not quite sure.
Is it his wrist? Is it his wrist?
Physios, or it looks like an arm injury or back. I don't know, it's very difficult. It's the small of his back. He doesn't look
someone has suffered.
Doesn't he?
I've suffered a lot with bad backs, and if you've got a bad back and you jar it can really sort of really be painful.
The problem with backs, I think, is that they sort of connect with everything, don't they? If you get a back injury, it can affect all kinds of bits and pieces.
I'm looking at these replays, and there's no contact with the back at all.
No, there is. There's no what you call trauma there. He just looks as if he's pulled a muscle or twisted something as he went down. McKenna was close to him, but he wasn't making contact with him. Klopp is a little concerned, wearing a black puffer jacket, and Salah is hobbling away. He doesn't look comfortable at all. He's hobbling on his left foot, but I think it's his lower back that's causing him the pain at the moment. It's
the last thing Liverpool need is to lose Mo Salah.
Absolutely. 33 minutes played. They've not had the best of luck with injuries, as we've been mentioning. Plenty of players missing, and Klopp's frustration is plain for all to see.
Well, he wants to know. I think he wants information. How is he? I don't think he's getting that message relayed at the moment.
He's off the pitch now, but Liverpool do have a free kick in a very useful position. Milner and Robertson standing over it. It's going to be Milner to swirl it in. It's not very well delivered, and it's hit a long way upfield by McKenna's clearance. Back in it comes though from Joe Gomez, and Aurier's able to out-jump Van Dijk. Carvalho tries to burrow his way through, but the ball spills to Dean Henderson, who knocks it long upfield. The on-loan Manchester United player. The absence of Brennan Johnson today means that McKenna and Henderson are the only two ever presents in the Premier League for Nottingham Forest this season. McKenna, in fact, has played every minute as an outfield player.
I don't know whether he'd have expected that.
Salah's back on as the ball comes in from Gomez. It's only half cleared. Here's Curtis Jones for Liverpool, looking for support, finds it from Robertson on this left-hand side. Now it's Carvalho twisting away. The good pressure from Forest. It's come all the way back to Van Dijk. Now it's Gomez. Gomez diagonally into Firmino. Firmino tried to chip it over the top to Elliott. It was a good idea that, but he didn't quite execute it right.
It's a terrible execution. It's really badly overhit, isn't it, from Firmino? It's good the way he drops in. Look how Steve Cook goes with him. But the ball, it's a really bad pass from Firmino to Elliott. But yeah, the lively atmosphere, 35 minutes in. The Forest fans are very much enjoying this game. They like the attitude of their team, and I think Steve Cooper will be thrilled.
Yeah, he will be pleased. Here's Jones for Liverpool, centre midfield, just inside his own, or just inside the Forest half, I should say. Finds Fabinho. The Brazilian lays it off to Joe Gomez. Gomez is a player who has taken his chance really well. Might well be in England.
Well, we talked earlier about Carl Walker, didn't we? And that right side centre back. I think Joe Gomez can play right back or centre half. He would be in my thinking for sure.
Here's Harvey Elliott on the right hand side, back to James Milner. Less than 10 minutes to go to half time. Milner away down the right hand side, crosses it, it's deflected behind. It's going to be a corner. Owen Kingsland is with us, another expat Gooner, enjoying the game in Lexington, South Carolina, heading for Labrador in Canada. And there's a picture of some of the biggest tyres I've ever seen.
Unbelievable.
What on earth has tyres that big? It's a flatbed truck. The tyres look like the size of small bungalows to me.
I've seen smaller flats in London than those tyres.
We had someone in midweek driving to Saskatchewan, I think. I don't know how you boys do it. I don't particularly enjoy driving 10 miles. I get frustrated. Mind you, it's a bit different in London, I think. But anyway, in Nottingham, it's 0-0. I dread to think. Incredible. Anyway, 37 minutes played, Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 0. But Liverpool have an opportunity with a set piece. It's a corner on the far side, which James Milner will take off his right foot. So it's a high-hanging outswinger. It's a good header away by Yates, but it's come back to Milner, and Milner will deliver again. And there's Van Dijk. Oh my goodness me, what a miss that is. He was absolutely unmarked at the far post with a clear header, and he's made the sort of header that he himself would have made at the other end when he was defending. He was onside. That's an incredible miss. He's missed by 18 yards.
This is one of the worst misses I've ever seen.
It looks like a Virgil van Dijk defensive header.
Is he trying to tee up a teammate
What's
here?
He's doing?
I think he's trying to nod the ball across goal for Firmino. Why he's trying to do that, I do not know. He has to go for goal there. That can't be a shot. It cannot be a shot on goal from Van Dijk because it's that bad. It has to be a pass for Firmino, which is absolutely the wrong option. But he's free as a bird, isn't he, there, from a good cross.
Anyway, at the other end, here's Awani for Nottingham Forest, who's played well. He's found Kouyaté. Kouyaté's given it straight to Firmino, though, who flicks it forward. Michael Choi listening from the pre-dawn darkness in Denver, Colorado, walking the dogs and rooting for Liverpool. Sad Nunez is not in the squad, hurting my fantasy team. Now Salah, ? Unlucky. Salah's okay, by the way, Michael, so you don't need to worry about him. He seems to be moving okay. He's back on the pitch, so
He's very much the main striker today, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, you got him and Firmino, but Firmino is the one that's dropping off, as you'd expect. So Salah is the number 9 without Nunez.
Yeah, without a doubt. Here's Gomez just inside the centre circle. Firmino has dropped deep. It's all a bit slow from Liverpool at the moment. Here's Elliott far side, finds Milner. Now Fabinho, Elliott again, bit more space for Elliott potentially here, flicks it down the line to Firmino, who tries the back heel. It's a good challenge on him by Freuler, and the flag goes up for a foul by Firmino, who doesn't seem to be exchanging particularly pleasant conversation with the assistant referee near side.
It's a foul, isn't it, from Firmino? It's a shoulder bars, but a really over-aggressive one. No intention of going for the ball there. The Brazilian and Forest do get the free kick, and they can just settle down and breathe and just regroup for one last push ahead of half-time here in Nottingham Forest. I think that all over the pitch they'll be pleased, particularly Cook and McKenna. I think they've defended well.
Because we were talking about how they might struggle against the likes of Firmino.
Well, they're not
Salah.
leaving that space in behind, are they? I think that Awani's has been a good platform at the top end of the pitch, and all over the pitch they've just worked hard for us today.
Coming forward now with Nico Williams. Good ball in from the Welshman, but just in front of Lingard, and it'll be cleared by Robertson up towards halfway. Salah gets a flick, but it bounces straight through to McKenna. A point apiece, were it to finish that way, would neither lift Liverpool into the top 6 nor Forest off the bottom of the table. Now then, is there a problem here? It's a tackle by Kouyaté, which Paul Tierney
I hope it's just a yellow,
beckoning him for a conversation. We're getting a replay of it here. Ooh, it's extraordinarily clumsy, but no, he's miskicked the ball and slithered into. It's definitely not a red.
No,
maybe not even a yellow, but
it was one of those tackles that you see referees give red cards for.
Yeah,
because he's out of control, but luckily with that leg he didn't make contact with the Liverpool player, and it was fine. He
was out of control, but he was out of control because he slipped. He wasn't out of control because he jumped in the air. You know what I mean?
Well, I've seen players slip and get red carded before. Yeah.
Here's Elliott for Liverpool, who have 4 minutes to try and get their noses in front before half-time. In it comes from Firmino. It's repelled by Forest, only as far as Curtis Jones midway inside the Forest half. He finds Van Dijk. Back to Jones again. Jones making only his second appearance of the season because of an injury. Now it's Fabinho clipping it away towards Robertson far side. His downward header doesn't find Carvalho, and it's tidied up by Yates. Yates and Freuler have been consistent in midfield for Forest in snuffing things out, haven't they? Both of them, particularly Yates. Here's Fabinho. Liverpool exerting a bit of pressure, but that's a really poor ball.
The shape is
straight through to Henderson.
Yeah, this 4-3-3 for Nottingham Forest has worked really, really well for them today. They're nice and compact. There's very little space for these white-shirted Liverpool players to go and do their thing. It's a tough 45-minute workout for them, and I think if it remains level at half-time, that's absolutely a fair scoreline based on what we've seen.
I agree. Liverpool haven't done enough, have they? And Forest lacked a bit of punch in the final third, but they've created chances. Milner's been pushed there.
Just a tap, but it was enough, wasn't it, to go over.
Williams, another one who'll be at the World Cup with Wales. They're in England's group, aren't they? That'll be a fascinating. It's almost like, you don't have derbies in the World Cup. That's about as close as it gets, isn't it?
Well,
Wales
beat England, didn't they, at one of the Euros not so long ago? So it's going to be so exciting. I think that'd be a
cracking game. Here's Fabio Carvalho, but an instant tackle comes in to make sure that he can't make any progress down that left-hand side. Now it's Curtis Jones. Liverpool have laboured, haven't they? There's not been any sort of fees or crackle about them. It's been, they've had lots of possession, they've had territorial dominance at times, but they just haven't seemed able to produce anything dramatic. That's a poor header from Milner, which he acknowledges, which goes out of play.
In the final third, really poor. The decision making, the final ball has been overhit on numerous occasions. There we see a loose touch from James Milner. I don't think there's been any combination play. Well, by that I mean ball into Firmino, knock it off to a midfielder, then there's a third man run. It's been bits and pieces, but none of the flow that you'd associate with Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp. It's been really sort of stunted football.
Forest fans are getting behind their team. They've enjoyed the opening 45 minutes. They haven't seen a goal, but they've seen plenty of endeavour and odd bits of creativity from their team. I think the main thing is that unlike Bournemouth earlier in the season, they haven't collapsed in the face of Liverpool, and they have it's been an even game, I would say.
I agree. Yeah, I mean Liverpool have had 72.8% of possession, but the shot count reads 5-3 to Liverpool.
Exactly. Here's Awani, now Jesse Lingard, edge of the box, whistle's gone, he's offside.
Yeah, I think that the Forest forward line have given Liverpool's rear guard plenty to think about. Not too often in the first half, but when they have got forward, I mean that's not offside.
Yeah, it really is. How on earth can the assistant referee have seen that? I mean, there's a white shirt between him, he's on this near side. Anyway, I mean, it wasn't a crucial one, but if I was a Forest fan, I'd be slightly annoyed about that. They probably haven't seen the replay pictures. So anyway, here's Van Dijk. We're in the last minute of the 45. Gomez to Milner, to Elliott rather. The last thing Forest will want is all their work undone late on. Elliott into the box, Cook repels it with a meaty thump up to halfway, and then Milner goes all the way back to Alisson. We just have a minute to be added on in a game of few stoppages, just the one for Salah's injury. Here's Van Dijk finding Robertson away towards the corner flag on this near side, blocked by Aurier. The ball goes out of play. There might be one last chance for Liverpool to get themselves in front before the half-time whistles blows. Here's Virgil van Dijk, square to Joe Gomez, and now it's Fabinho, and back to Van Dijk again. Forest have got everybody back behind the ball, as you'd expect. Now it's Gomez. It's going to have to be sooner rather than later if Liverpool are going to get the ball into the box. This is Van Dijk again, and Jones, and there's an overlap here from Robertson, but a slithering challenge by Morgan Gibbs-White gets the ball out of play, and that's the last action. And the Forest fans behind that goal raise to their feet and applaud. They've been very impressed with what they've seen from their team. Bottom of the table, of course, this morning, 2 points adrift and struggling with only one win all season, but you wouldn't know it from this performance. They've gone toe-to-toe with Liverpool. They've created as many chances as Liverpool have, and neither side has been able to bury any of them. So at half-time, on the banks of the Trent, it is Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 0 on Premier League Live.
Previously on White and Jordan.
Well, we didn't budget for this money. Surely we want to give it to our lesser cousins. Yes, and the moon's made of cheese, right?
Clash of the Simon.
The modern day fairy tale today in English football almost inevitably involves money.
There's no such thing as a no-score draw.
But this will be an exercise in goodwill. Something that the Premier League is bereft of.
How biased is Trevor? Sort it out. Seriously, sort it out.
White and Jordan.
The nation's primary destination for a triple distilled opinion and blistering debate.
Weekday mornings from 10 on the world-famous Talk Sport.
Times Radio.
I'm Mariella Frostrup. Join me as I talk to renowned guests about the worlds of culture, lifestyle and entertainment,
including Sir Michael Palin.
Python's always been, I think, a nice mix. It's about human behaviour and what we do and how we sort of mess ourselves up.
And Werner Herzog.
When you look at family romance, it's a deeply humanistic film. It is a very essential of my films.
From auteurs to icons, artists to activists, join me, Mariella Frostrup, for the radio show dedicated to exploring the ideas that shape our times.
Mariella Frostrup.
Monday to Thursday afternoons from 1
on Times Radio.
Stories of our times from the Times and the Sunday Times.
One agenda-setting story told in depth by experts.
I'm Manveen Rana.
I'm David Aronovich. Go beyond the headlines with original quality journalism and exclusive interviews.
What happens in the next year may define this country for the next 40 years.
We take you to the heart of the stories that matter. With exclusive access and reporting, you'll hear from the best and most informed journalists from the UK's most trusted newspaper. It's published for the start of your day, and you can listen for free on the Times Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Just search The Stories of Our Times.
John Pienaar at Drive, Monday to Thursday afternoon from 4 on Times Radio.
We're going to be talking about the news. We're going to be discussing it and explaining it.
Join John Pienaar for the Drive Time show dedicated to the news that matters and the views that need to be heard.
I'm going to give people the time and space to tell us what they think, and I'm not going to tell you what to think. I'm going to help you make up your mind.
Trusted news, insight and opinion that speaks for itself. John Pienaar at Drive,
4 to 7, Monday to Thursday
on Times Radio.
Hey, I'm Brian Dunseth from SiriusXM-FC. Every Monday, join Tom Rennie and me as we go all around the soccer world on our podcast, Week in the Tackle.
Enter our private circle.
From the significant...
There is a lot of reason to think they are going to win this tournament.
...to the absurd.
There's little car comes on, like...
We cover the soccer stories we find interesting on Week in the Tackle. Available for free on Stitcher or your favorite podcast platform.
Welcome back, half-time. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 0, and that will be a greater source of joy to the Forest fans than it will be to the Liverpool fans at the interval.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that Liverpool fans will be frustrated by what they've seen from their team. Okay, in flashes they've come alive and looked dangerous, but considering the amount of possession they've had, they have not carved out anywhere near enough clear opportunities. They've not pulled Nottingham Forest out of their 4-3-3 shape anywhere near often enough. In fact, it's Nottingham Forest that have pulled Liverpool out of their 4-4-2 shape on more occasions, and probably Jesse Lingard's opportunity on the break was the best of the lot. But yeah, it's an even game, and Nottingham Forest will be thrilled, I think, with how it's gone.
Yeah, they'll be very pleased. If I had to pick a word to describe Liverpool, that'd probably be prosaic. They've been, they've just totally lacked flair, haven't they, for a team that normally has so much of it?
Not fluent at all, Liverpool, in this first half. And the great source of frustration will be the quality of the final ball, the final pass. It's been overhit. I think it must be into double figures for the number of occasions where that final ball has been very, very bad from a Liverpool point of view. So Jurgen Klopp, I think, will be having words with his players saying, come on, you're better than what we've shown in that first half. Even though they're depleted, they should produce more inside the final third than they have.
Yeah, when you look at the Liverpool bench, it doesn't have its usual kind of fear factor, does it really? Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, good to see him back. Couple of youngsters, but no one there really. Maybe Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's going to come on and add a bit of fizz.
You might get some legs out of Jordan Henderson, a bit of drive from central midfield. Yeah. Tsimikas has created a lot of chances this season and goals. And I've been disappointed with Liverpool's left side. Andy Robertson and Fabio Carvalho have not really been involved, so wouldn't surprise me if we saw Tsimikas at some point. But you're right, it's not a bench that's going to frighten you, and I don't think Jurgen Klopp's got that many options up his sleeve here today. It's down to the starters to just be better in the second half.
And will Steve Cooper be telling his men that if they apply themselves the way they have in the second half, and if they could be a little bit more clinical, they can win this, can't they?
Yeah, Forrest? I think so. Yeah, he's got to give them belief that their hard work to this point has given them a platform to maybe go on and claim a famous win. I think the message will be, though, same again. Don't let your intensity drop. Don't get pulled out of your shape. Carry on being aggressive. And from one of these transitions and counters, we will score a goal. Whether they are clinical enough and calm enough in those big moments, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Nottingham Forest are a match for Liverpool here this afternoon, and I think that will be a source of real pride to the fans around us and to the players as well, and of course to Steve Cooper.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about relegation threatened teams is that, you need to beat the teams around you. Forest haven't necessarily done that, but also equally, if you get anything at all off the so-called Big Six, if they get a point off Liverpool, I mean, that's quite a result for them.
We saw when that half-time whistle blew, when Paul Tierney put the whistle to his mouth, everyone stood up. Everyone stood up, and they gave the players a standing ovation, because what they saw, maybe for the first time this season, was a Nottingham Forest team, an actual collective that worked together as a group. They didn't look like strangers in that first half. They looked like a group of players that have been playing together for a while, and as we all know, then that's not the case, but they looked it, and I think that is the big step forward they've made in that first 45. What they've got to do is maintain it, and they've got to go on now and claim at least a point, because Liverpool aren't at it at the moment. No. You've got to take advantage. Yeah, definitely. Don't forget, we've got more action coming up for you, as we always do throughout the Premier League weekend. Manchester City against Brighton with Russell Hargreaves and Hogan Ephraim is your feature game at 3 o'clock. Also at 3 o'clock at Goodison Park, Everton take on Crystal Palace. Then the big game of the weekend is the 5:30 kickoff at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and Manchester United. Tom Rennie and the former United and England defender Paul Parker will be watching that one. Cristiano Ronaldo will not be playing. He's been dropped from the squad after his petulant behaviour in midweek. Let's hear from the two managers ahead of that Titanic showdown at the bridge. It's Graham Potter and Erik ten Hag.
I have a huge respect for Ten Hag and the job that he's done in his career and the qualities as a coach. You can see that people adapt and people adjust as they go into the competition phase. So I think they've done well. They've obviously not a great start from their perspective, but they've battled back and they're getting points and they're playing well. So it's going to be a tough game.
It's nothing. I think from that game, it's a different game, different team. Yes. So different players. We are further in the process. So I don't think. Of course, I know more about him, and the first time he knew maybe more about me, and that is maybe an advantage because he know more about Manchester United in the first game. So now I'm longer in the UK in the Premier League. So tomorrow, good fight. But it's not a fight between managers, it's a fight between teams. Chelsea, Manchester United. Yeah, looking forward to that one. Don't miss it. What I have forgotten to do, of course, is bring you the first half highlights from Nottingham Forest against Liverpool. There weren't a huge amount of them, but here they are, better late than never. Gibbs White for Forest, opportunity to attack the Liverpool area. Awoniyi lays it back, there's the shot, and it's from Cheiko Kouyate, and it's easily claimed by Alisson, but it's an effort on target for Nottingham Forest, who worked it well. Gibbs White's been very lively, and when the ball was held up well by Awoniyi, Kouyate, who's not a renowned goal scorer, rather underhit the shot, and Alisson made a straightforward save. It's a weak shot, but the play is good, isn't it? From the turnover, I thought Gibbs White was excellent. Fed it into Awoniyi, and his hold-up play was excellent. Good awareness as well to pick out Kouyate, and it's a shot on target, and they didn't have one, did they, at the Amex Stadium? The ball is flicked forward by Gibbs White. Here's Awoniyi, he's got Lingard peeling away. Here's Jesse Lingard, and it's straight at Alisson again, but that was well worked. Awoniyi did well with the hold-up play, and this time he found the right pass. Lingard hit it pretty hard, but he didn't hit it sufficiently either side of the keeper. Forest fans are enjoying this game. More threats from Steve Cooper's Nottingham Forest in this half an hour than there's been in the last two games. Yep, that's a very apt summation of things from Adrian Clark there, and Nottingham Forest will be hugely encouraged by what they've seen in the opening period, where they've matched Liverpool really strength for strength and chance for chance. Liverpool haven't really got into their stride, and they'll need to in the second half, otherwise their season and particularly their away form will take another dip. We'll be back in just a moment with the second half on Premier League Live.
Previously
on White and Jordan.
Well, we didn't budget for this money. Surely we want to give it to our lesser cousins. Yes, and the moon's made of cheese, right?
Clash of the Simon.
The modern day fairy tale today in English football almost inevitably involves money.
There's no such thing as a no-score draw.
But this will be an exercise in goodwill, something that the Premier League is bereft of.
How biased is Trevor? Sort it out. Seriously, sort it out.
White and Jordan.
The nation's primary destination for a triple distilled opinion and blistering debate.
Weekday mornings from 10 on the world-famous Talk Sport.
Times Radio.
I'm Mariella Frostrup. Join me as I talk to renowned guests about the worlds of culture, lifestyle and entertainment.
Including Sir Michael Palin.
Python's always been, I think, a nice mix. It's about human behaviour and what we do and how we sort of mess ourselves up.
And Werner Herzog.
When you look at family romance, it's a deeply humanistic film. It is a very essential of my films.
From auteurs to icons, artists to activists. Join me, Mariella Frostrup, for the radio show dedicated to exploring the ideas that shape our times.
Mariella Frostrup.
Monday to Thursday afternoons from 1
on Times Radio.
Stories of our times from the Times and the Sunday Times.
One agenda-setting story told in depth by experts.
I'm Manveen Rana.
I'm David Ronovich. Go beyond the headlines with original quality journalism and exclusive interviews.
What happens in the next year may define this country for the next 40 years.
We take you to the heart of the stories that matter. With exclusive access and reporting, you'll hear from the best and most informed journalists from the UK's most trusted newspaper. It's published for the start of your day, and you can listen for free on the Times Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Just search The Stories of Our Times.
John Pienaar at Drive, Monday to Thursday afternoon from 4 on Times Radio.
We're going to be talking about the news. We're going to be discussing it and explaining it.
Join John Pienaar for the Drive Time show dedicated to the news that matters and the views that need to be heard.
I'm going to give people the time and space to tell us what they think. And I'm not going to tell you what to think. I'm going to help you make up your mind.
Trusted news, insight and opinion that speaks for itself. John Pienaar at Drive.
4 to 7, Monday to Thursday.
On Times Radio.
Hey, I'm Brian Dunseth from SiriusXM FC. Every Monday, join Tom Rennie and me as we go all around the soccer world on our podcast, Week in the Tackle.
Enter our private circle.
From the significant...
There is a lot of reason to think they're going to win this tournament.
To the absurd.
This little car comes on, like...
We cover the soccer stories we find interesting on Week in the Tackle. Available for free on Stitcher or your favorite podcast platform.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Nottingham Forest against Liverpool from the City Ground. I'm your host, John Anderson. Alongside me is the former Arsenal winger Adrian Clark. This is Premier League Live. Players are back out on the pitch for the second half. The referee, Paul Tierney, who we're glad to say had a fairly quiet first half, has just delivered the ball back to Mohamed Salah, who will get things underway for Liverpool. All in white today. The fact that Salah is on the pitch suggests that injury was a slight one, which is not going to cause too many problems. And to be honest, Liverpool could do without another injury. Forest fans in good voice as Mull of Kintyre, the Paul McCartney and Wings number 1 from 1977, lilts across the stadium. They've carried on singing it even though the bagpipes have died down. And who can win this one, I wonder? Forest, I think it's probably fair to say maybe that Forest have played above themselves and Liverpool below themselves in the first half.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, it's not unfair. I think Liverpool certainly below themselves, and based on what we've seen of Forest in the Premier League, this was a step up, wasn't it? Because of the collective work. You know, they worked together as a team. All three units in unison were excellent. The big question is, can they maintain it? And then, of course, beyond that, can they take a chance if they can fashion one more big one?
Yeah. Of course, their next game is away at Arsenal, Forest as well, so they've got a tough week ahead. Here's Nico Williams. And now Kouyaté. But he's lost it, and suddenly Roberto Firmino's on his way, clips the ball across field. And Serge Aurier under pressure from
Fabio Carvalho gets the ball away. This is Andy Robertson for Liverpool. He still has it, the left back, and he's found Carvalho. This is good from Liverpool, but Carvalho's just lost control of the ball and allowed Nottingham Forest to clear into the crowd on the far side.
Better from Liverpool, certainly from Robertson and Carvalho, who were very much on the periphery of the game in that first half. Yeah, I think Jurgen Klopp would have surely revved them up a little bit during the interval. It was all a little bit too ponderous for his liking, I'm sure.
Throw into Liverpool. It runs through to Fabinho, but it's a strong challenge on him by Awoniyi, and Forest try and break here, but Liverpool have got the ball away. Not for long. Kouyaté has done well here, and he's found Williams. It's Nico Williams against his former club who shoots, and it cannons back off Joe Gomez, and it was an ambitious effort by the Welshman. That's not a very good ball back by Liverpool, but they've got away with it. Oh, how calm was that by Alisson? The ball's come to him, and it wasn't a particularly good ball. He didn't expect it. He's just casually chipped it across to Robertson on the far side. It was just like sort of thing Kevin De Bruyne does.
It's
incredible.
It was glorious, wasn't it? It was fantastic. Not so good from Nico Williams. It was a good run, but I mean, he had no real right to try his luck from where he did, and a promising situation ended.
Here's Forest though trying to get forward. Awoniyi chasing with Gomez. Gomez gets it back to goalkeeper Alisson, and then Awoniyi's a little bit late there on Gomez, which was silly to be honest, because the ball had gone back to the goalkeeper. He had no hope of getting it, and he'll be lucky if he escapes a yellow card, I would think, for this.
Yeah, he catches him, doesn't he, on the back of his leg. It's a little bit sloppy there. Yeah, just on the heel. Yeah, that will hurt. Awoniyi was a touch reckless. Jurgen Klopp on our monitor looks a bit open-mouthed, not for the first time this season.
Impressed, does he?
No, he's had that look a lot, hasn't he, this year? They've just not been anywhere near the usual high standards, Liverpool.
They have set incredibly high standards, but obviously if you're a big club you need to maintain them, as Manchester City have done. Here's Elliott for Liverpool, trying to find Firmino. It's headed away by McKenna, who's had a very good game in the heart of the Forest defence. His ball's broken though for Harvey Elliott. Elliott out to Milner, right hand side. Milner into the box, flying header away again by Scott McKenna. It's gone out of play, and Liverpool have a throw in level with the edge of the penalty area. It's taken quickly to Harvey Elliott, who finds captain for the day James Milner. And now Gomez. Virgil van Dijk is moving into central midfield now and finds Carvalho. Plenty of the ball for Liverpool in the opening 4 minutes of the second period. Here's Curtis Jones. Back it comes to Van Dijk, and now Gomez again. It's very patient by Liverpool, and Gomez plays an excellent ball through to Milner. Milner clips it up towards the back post. There's the header, and it's Carvalho, and it wasn't a very good header really. He didn't look convincing there at all, did he? He just ducked into it, and it came off his forehead harmlessly and across goal.
They don't want these kind of chances to fall to Fabio Carvalho, really. You want Firmino on the end of that. But what you're noticing is Forest getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And that's just inviting pressure, and it's allowing Liverpool to get into advanced areas a bit more easily than they did in that first half. They've got to be careful here, Forest, not to drop too far towards their own goalkeeper.
They've just knocked the ball out of play, courtesy of the Swiss midfielder Remo Freuler. This time the ball's gone out of play off a Liverpool player, so it's a throw into Nottingham Forest. Nico Williams, who made just 33 Liverpool appearances, but did get medals for Premier League and Champions League successes without playing a massive part in either. Liverpool free kick midway inside the Nottingham Forest half. 6 minutes almost of the second half gone. It was Yates just putting an arm into the face of Carvalho. Yates is the Nottingham Forest captain today. Andy Robertson's come across from his station on the left, maybe to try and curl this one into the Nottingham Forest box. Would one Liverpool goal end Forest's resistance, do you think? We'll ask you that in a minute, because it's going to be... Oh, hang on. No, it's not. We can ask you now. There's a full start.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to see Nottingham Forest scoring 2 to go on and win the game. But yeah, it might break their hearts if Liverpool were to open the scoring here.
Got a free kick. Looked as if Milner was going to take it initially. He does with his right foot. It's a useful delivery towards Salah, who completely misses his kick. It comes to Carvalho, and it's a weak effort by him wide. It was uncharacteristic of Salah. Milner did well to pick him out. He peeled away. He was onside. He just miskicked the volley completely. When it came to Carvalho, he tried to curl it into the top corner, and he just curled it into the crowd.
Yeah. How can Salah, the most dangerous player in this Liverpool side, be allowed that much space from a simple free kick? It's amazing, really, that he's missed his volley. It's a total air shot from Mo Salah, a real collector's item there. But yeah, Forest have got to defend better than that.
Yes.
That's a slight concern. They've not begun the second period well, Nottingham Forest.
Here's Harvey Elliott. He's managed to find Robertson. Back to Elliott. Elliott into the box. Was he blocked there inside the penalty area? No, says Paul Tierney.
Yeah, he was looking for it, wasn't he, Harvey Elliott? It's almost like he fell into the player. And I think, as he knocks the ball past him, he holds on to Cook rather than the other way round. Referee was right.
There's an offside flag. Wilson, who says today, I didn't know this, probably in America, I don't know, today is Make a Dog's Day. Taking a break from Adventures with George for a snack, and Nottingham Forest Liverpool on TalkSport Live, and yes, he is wearing his Liverpool red collar. Nice looking little dog.
Nice one, George.
I'm more of a cat lover myself. Have you got a dog?
I've got a cat called Jack, named after Jack Wilshere. We should tell you how old he is. But yeah, he behaves better than Jack Wilshere. But yeah, no, George looks cute.
Is he retired, Jack Wilshere, now from football?
He's retired.
He has,
retired. He's the youth team manager at Arsenal at the moment.
He never quite fulfilled his potential because he was such a wonderful player. I mean, he could have been the sort of Phil Foden of his era, or a Jack Grealish sort of player, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was fantastic. But yeah, just his career sort of ended a bit prematurely. But yeah, he's passing on his wisdom to the Arsenal under-18s now.
Then Gomez is in trouble.
He could be in trouble here.
He's lost the ball. It can't be red because it's too far from goal. But Awoniyi won the ball off him, and then Gomez pulled him back. It's a clear yellow card. The Forest fans want him sent off. You can't say it's a clear goal scoring opportunity if you're on the halfway line. Surely
he's actually inside his own half there, Joe Gomez. He dawdles on the ball, and he gets what he deserves here. He loses it because Awoniyi closes him down, wins it back. I mean, Steve Cooper thinks that's a red. I think it's a yellow. It's too far away.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's definitely a yellow, but there's a covering defender anyway. I mean, you can't say that a player inside his own half is a clear goal scoring opportunity.
No, it's a very cynical foul.
Yep, it certainly was, and it deserved a yellow. Free kick to Forest, taken by Morgan Gibbs-White. Here's Steve Cook, who bounced it into the box. It's hit the post, but Awoniyi has put it into the net, and Nottingham Forest have the lead. Cook's cross from the right-hand side. The initial effort came back off an upright, but Taiwo Awoniyi was there to get his third goal of the season. It is a huge goal for Nottingham Forest, and it's come in the 10th minute of the second half. Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool 0.
Awoniyi won't celebrate against his former club, but everybody else inside the City ground is going absolutely bonkers. Doesn't Steve Cook do well? It's a wide free kick. He peels off out on the right, takes it down and drills the ball across the face of goal. Awoniyi's first effort cannons off the post, and he's really calm as it comes back to him. He just volleys it side foot into the roof of the net. Really, really calm from the Nottingham Forest striker. And wow, we do have a game on our hands now.
Absolute pandemonium inside the City ground. Absolute misery and recriminations among the Liverpool players, who are looking at each other and asking why the Nottingham Forest number 9 was offered not one but two opportunities to put the ball into the net. And as you say, Steve Cook, a veteran defender, has been around the block, and he has produced the assist for Taiwo Awoniyi. who scored in Forest's only other win this season, a single goal victory over West Ham. And now, well, questions will be asked of Liverpool.
Good selection from Steve Cooper, wasn't it, to bring him in instead of Brennan Johnson?
Yes.
And he's been a handful. He's given Gomez and Van Dijk problems all game with his work rate and his industry, and we saw Gomez almost get sent off for a foul on Awoniyi, and from that free kick he's the one on the end of it. But the assist from Steve Kirk is brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great touch and cross.
Neymar Butlins checking in from Los Angeles. Love the Robin Hood story coming from this game. What a cracker. That's a nod towards Robin Hood, the most famous, well, he's a mythical figure really, but there's a Robin Hood Way in Nottingham. There's a statue of him. Here come Elliott though for Liverpool. Can they get straight back in? Not quite. It's pushed away by Dean Henderson at his near post. Harvey Elliott beats the ground in frustration. It was a nice little ball slid in to him by Milner, and Elliott got it on target, but the Forest keeper pushed it away.
Yeah, you expect him to make the save, but he gets into the box too easily. Harvey Elliott, is Kouyate that gets attracted to the ball, lets Elliott run off him, and I think it should probably go far corner there rather than near stick. Easy save.
Robertson corner, in swinger, awkward, off the head, cleared by Lingard. Well, this is going to be fascinating the next 10 minutes or so, isn't it? Because Forest naturally will drop deep, I think, to protect their lead, and Liverpool will have to come at them. But Forest are breaking now in search of a second. Kouyate's in space. Here's Gibbs-White. Oh, what a block by Milner. It would have been 2-0 but for James Milner blocking Morgan Gibbs-White's goal-bound effort. Lovely break by Forest. It was played square from the right-hand side, and Gibbs-White, what a block by Milner.
Sensational. How important might this turn out to be from James Milner? What a break. They were all over the place, Liverpool. Awoniyi again at the heart of it. I don't think Gibbs-White can do too much more. It's just sensational defending.
Yeah, it's Nottingham Forest's first corner of the game. It's on the right-hand side as they attack. It's going to be a high in-swinger. Awoniyi's there, but so too is Alisson to punch it away. And the referee, I think, is saying that the ball actually went out of play before it swung back in. Morgan Gibbs-White desperately close to getting what would be his first Premier League goal for Forest. We're looking at the goal that has gone in. No chance for Alisson. He went down, it came off the post. And credit to Awoniyi, he followed it in. And simple tap in. But what a huge goal for Forest. What a huge goal for Liverpool, potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, if I said at the beginning, it would be a calamitous day if they were to lose this game. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, they don't look anything like title contenders, but the game's up if they lose this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I think Gomez has struggled today. I think he was the one that was looking after Awoniyi inside the box, and he's not tight enough to him. He's the wrong side. And there's going to be some changes here. Jurgen Klopp has to respond.
He also wasn't tight enough, Gomez, on the player that played the cross in for the Gibbs-White effort as well. It's Alexander-Arnold and Henderson who are going to come on, but not just yet, because Liverpool have a corner on the hour. The shot scoreline from the City Ground. Forest 1, Liverpool 0. Here comes the out-swinging corner, towering header away by Yates and then by Lingard, and here's Awoniyi, who's been absolutely excellent today. He's worked really hard. And Nico Williams, though, has given the ball away. Here's Elliott finding Firmino. Back to Elliott. And now Carvalho. But Forest are able to clear. And they smash the ball forward towards Awoniyi. But this time Gomez does his job. It's incredible to think, although we've had a long gap between rivalries, that Liverpool haven't won on this ground in 12 games since 1986.
It is a bogey ground,
it's amazing, isn't it?
5 matches in the Premier League era, haven't won one. It's mad, really.
Bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool win everywhere.
Yeah, well, in that mid-80s in particular, Liverpool were absolutely the most dominant club, arguably, in the world, weren't they?
Yeah, this is not a happy hunting ground, and today it's not been easy for them. Forest have produced their best performance of the season as a team.
Doubt. But it's not over yet because Liverpool have plenty of talented players, one of whom is Curtis Jones on the ball now, clipping it in from the right-hand side. Yates heads it away. Hard to think of a Forest player who hasn't done his job very, very well this afternoon. They've all been good, haven't they? And we're going to get changes. Milner is off for Trent Alexander-Arnold, who of course offers a more direct threat than the veteran former England midfield player, who's going to hand the armband over to the other substitute, Jordan Henderson. We've had 61.5 minutes, and this will be some story if Liverpool are beaten by Forest. A win for Forest would take them above Leicester City and off the bottom of the table. They'd have 9 points.
I mean, if they play like this, Forest won't go down. If they consistently produce this level, they won't go down because they've got good players. They just don't know each other.
No, but they've lost some bad games, something like Bournemouth and Fulham they've lost to. Yeah, but you're right, I mean, if he can mesh a team out of this assortment that he's inherited, then good luck to him. He is a good manager, we know that.
There's not a standout terrible team this season, in my opinion, in the Premier League. I think it could be a really competitive race to avoid the drop.
Ball forward goes under the foot of Curtis Jones. Did it get a touch up a Forest player? I think it did. And Forest are now going to make a double substitution themselves with Brennan Johnson about to enter the fray alongside the club captain Joe Worrell.
Two heroes from last season. We've only got 3 of last season's promotion team on the pitch at the moment.
It's going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold to take the corner. It could be his first contribution today. In he comes, Van Dijk's there! And again, Van Dijk doesn't really get it right. It flew through. I don't even know if Van Dijk got a touch. He missed an absolute sitter of a header in the first half. And he sort of ducked under it. He picked for Firmino in the end and bounced up. I tell you, he's had a quiet game. No Salah. He's done little or nothing to trouble Forest, has he?
No.
One of the players coming off is Jesse Lingard. Ex-Manchester United player will thoroughly enjoy beating Liverpool if indeed Forest do. And
he's had a difficult start to life at the City Ground, and he hasn't been one of the standout players today for Forest, but he's worked really hard, and in flashes he's made contributions. But I think Brennan Johnson in this kind of situation can really hurt them. I can't believe this. Our knee's coming off.
Yeah, it's rather bizarre.
I would not take him off.
No, I think I agree with you. I find that funny, to say the least. He's been not just his goal, but his hold-up play has been brilliant. He's linked things well. He's played with his back to goal wholeheartedly.
He's handy at the defending corners as well. I get it. They're going to look to go 3 at the back with Joe Worrell, so it's a change of system. But I don't know. Our knee was causing them so many problems. He was a nightmare. Gomez will be absolutely thrilled.
Oh, that's a block, and the ball might fall here for Roberto Firmino inside the Forest box. Cuts it back. Henderson can't get there, and Aurier did for Forest and clubbed it away on this near side. Trent Alexander-Arnold is very keen to take the throw quickly and does, and finds Firmino. Firmino with a touch, but not a good one. Liverpool might get a second chance here, but it's swept away by Kouyaté, and then Gomez comes flying in, and the ball goes out of play. It's 100 miles an hour at the moment, with 20 minutes of the second half having elapsed in what's been an absorbing encounter.
Really
and potentially could be one of the stories of the weekend. This
could. I didn't expect it to be this competitive. I didn't think Forest would be this good today. It's not over yet. I think they're going to have to absorb a lot of pressure and ride their luck. It's kind of a 5-4-1 now, with Brennan Johnson down the middle.
Here's Aurier driving forward. He's blocked by Robertson though. Robertson counters. Here's Fabinho on halfway. Diagonal ball with a touch out towards Elliott. Elliott's tackled beautifully though by Williams. Here's Gibbs-White. Good tackling back though by Firmino. It's really white hot, the atmosphere now, isn't it? Forest fans who were celebrating a goal 10 minutes ago, football fans being what they are now sort of looking at their watches and thinking, oh no, there's 25 minutes
left. It's going to go really slowly for Forest fans.
Here's Alexander-Arnold for Liverpool. Left foot cross by him, and missed initially by McKenna, but Cook was there behind him to put it behind for another Liverpool corner. They've had plenty of them. haven't really made anything of them. The best delivery from out wide was met by Van Dijk in the first half, who inexplicably headed 18 yards wide. It's Liverpool's 8th corner of the game.
Yeah, but Trent Alexander-Arnold's on now.
Yeah,
and he is their best taker.
Well, his delivery is magnificent, as we know, or can be. Needs a good one here because they're in all sorts of bother, Liverpool. It's an outswinger from the England right back. There's the attempt at a header. It comes out to Gomez. Gomez nudges Morgan Gibbs-White, and the referee awards Nottingham Forest a free kick, which is hugely welcomed by the City Ground faithful.
He's got to be careful. Got to be careful, Joe Gomez. He's one foul away from getting a red card, which really would be a disaster.
Just got some pictures of John McGovern and Frank Clark sitting in the stands at the City Ground too, and Gary Birtles. I know Gary very well, worked with him, absolutely lovely guy. Nice to see Gary wearing one of his trademark bright ties. He loves a bright shirt and a bright tie. Gary Birtles scored in that famous win here over Liverpool in the first round of the European Cup in '78.
Well, they've probably been invited back. Maybe they come every week, I'm not sure, but maybe they've been invited back
Gary does a lot of your work. I mean, he's on Sky TV as a co-commentator. So he's a fantastic guy, Gary. He comes from Long Eaton, which is not far from here, and he was late to the game. He was a carpet fitter, and he describes himself as the only carpet fitter in the world who's got 2 European Cup winners' medals.
He's probably right.
And he still fits carpets. He says it's therapeutic. He enjoys doing it. Incredible. Nice to see him, and Frank Clark and John McGovern, all legends at Forest. You know, a team that won the European Cup, the equivalent of the Champions League. If you're relatively new to English football, it sounds ridiculous, but it's true. Anyway, here's a chance for Liverpool. But Forest have swamped the area,
bodies in the middle.
They had 6 or 7 there, and they're countering now with Gibbs-White, and Gibbs-White has found Kouyaté, and Kouyaté is in on goal, tight angle, tries to find Brennan Johnson, and Johnson's first touch of the game is a scuffed shot which is pushed away by Alisson. They look dangerous on the counter, don't they, as well as doing all their defensive work.
This is how they got promoted,
Fantastic
John.
performance so far.
They were like this in the Championship. They were deadly on counters. And that's the way it's got to be for them. They've been really threatening all game long. Liverpool's defence so susceptible.
But here's Elliott picking up the pass from Fabinho, right hand side. It's end to end at the moment. He can't find Salah. Steve Cook, another excellent intervention. Those 2 centre halves have been superb today, haven't they?
Yeah, Cook and McKenna, just brilliant.
Kouyaté's gone down injured on the side of the pitch, just as Trent Alexander-Arnold wanted to throw the ball in. Cook, of course, has got the assist for the goal.
Yeah, well, Cook and McKenna have been just awesome, colossal.
I agree.
Because we looked at the team sheet and we thought, well, Cook and McKenna up against Salah and Firmino, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
But they've just defended properly. They've got their positions right. I just think as a collective, Forest have been such a good team today.
Great story, Steve Cook, isn't it? I mean, he started with Bournemouth when they were in League One, I think. He helped them go all the way up, keep them in the Premier. Some nearly 400 appearances for the Cherries. And he's had an Indian summer, really, here, hasn't he? He's wrong side of 30.
Yeah, and they did. Bournemouth did get rid of him. They didn't view him as someone that could help them. So he went to Forest and got promoted with them instead.
Model pro. Good guy as well, Steve Cook. Heard interviews with him. Great sense of humour.
I've interviewed him before. He's a good lad.
Brilliant, isn't he? 20 minutes to go here, and Liverpool are in danger of losing to the team that were bottom of the Premier League this morning. There is time. Trent Alexander-Arnold rolls it back into centre midfield, where it's picked up by the other sub, Jordan Henderson. Henderson chips it away towards the far side, but Robertson's not going to get there. Aurier. And you don't say this very often of Sergio. I'd say he's had a fairly disciplined game today. I mean, he can be an absolute firecracker, not necessarily in a good way.
He has. I thought the same, though. I thought he's defended properly today.
He has,
And you can't always say that about Sergio Aurier.
Here's Gomez finding Henderson. Now Elliott. Forest have got everybody back. Good shape at the moment as the ball comes out to Alexander-Arnold. Takes a deflection and finds Curtis Jones, who swings and volleys. It was an accurate shot, but not one which troubled Henderson, the goalkeeper under his baseball cap, pouncing to claim.
Yeah, it's straight down the goalkeeper's throat, chests it nicely, good connection from Curtis Jones, but easy stop for Dean Henderson. And yeah, so far so good for Nottingham Forest. I still sense they'll get at least one more chance of their own on the break.
Yeah. Well, Brennan Johnson had one a moment ago. He didn't connect properly. It was difficult. He was under pressure.
It's kind of set up for Brennan Johnson. So in a way, I do understand the change, but I felt Awoniyi was so good.
Elliott with the diagonal ball, sliding challenge by McKenna, cleared by Williams, up towards halfway. Brennan Johnson will chase it. His dad, of course, David, is a former Nottingham Forest player and was at the club when Brennan Johnson was born. He's a Nottingham lad. And we're going to get another substitution now for Nottingham Forest. Renan Lodi, the Brazilian left back who's on loan from Atletico Madrid, is coming on, having missed the last few games with an ankle injury. He's replacing Nico Williams, who's getting applause from all round the ground, the Liverpool fans as well.
Yeah.
But particularly the Forest fans. He's done well.
He's played well.
Yeah.
Played well today.
He's been part of a team where they've all played well. And Renan Lodi is a more traditional left back than Nico Williams. And good to see him back after his injury.
I've just got the Opta Live stats, okay?
Yeah.
The percentage chances of a Forest win are 56.4%.
Oh, that's incredible.
So, they are favourites from here. Yeah. The draw, 31.6%. The Liverpool win, 12%. That's what it is at the moment.
I'm slightly cynical about these.
Oh, so am I.
But they are 1-0 up. Which does increase the likelihood that they might win the game. I know what you mean.
Yeah. I just thought I'd share it.
No, fair enough.
For any Forest fans that are listening and feeling nervous, well, you are favourites from this point.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't begrudge them this victory were they to win. There's two footballs on the pitch at the moment, but play continues with Joe Gomez, who finds Trent Alexander-Arnold. 73 minutes played at the City Ground, which is still bathed in sunshine, physically and metaphorically for Nottingham Forest at the moment. I mean, they haven't had too much to cheer. A solitary victory this season at home to West Ham, but way back in August.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be a season-changing performance and result for them if they get it. It's by no means nailed down. Liverpool have the quality, we know that, with Firmino and Salah in particular. Not as though either have been particularly great today, but the quality is there. Here's Fabinho. Once again, Liverpool are pushing and probing and side to side. It's come through to Alexander-Arnold, who finds Elliott. Back to Trent Alexander-Arnold again, who swirls it. That's a useful looking ball. It's very well defended by Aurier, and then Brennan Johnson cushions the header and tries to get away from Curtis Jones. Jones, tigerish in the challenge, finds Van Dijk, and Van Dijk inside his own half finds Fabinho. Now it's Jordan Henderson for Liverpool, finding Harvey Elliott, challenged by Lodi, who's just come on. Elliott's got away from him, but he's going across the goal rather than towards it. Here's Firmino, 5 goals in his last 6, and losing out there, but fouled.
That's a soft one.
It does seem soft. It's Yates who was penalised. He's not very happy about it.
So Forest started the game 4-3-3, then they went 5-4-1. They are now 5-5-0. There is no one up front.
No.
Brennan Johnson is wide right.
Yeah.
Morgan Gibbs White is wide left, and everyone else is just blocking the middle. And well, look, so far so good, but
it's going to feel like a very long 15
Yeah,
minutes.
you still get that sense that Liverpool will surely find one moment of quality to get themselves on the score sheet here.
Well, Liverpool have a free kick inside the Nottingham Forest half. It's wide on the left-hand side. I imagine Trent Alexander-Arnold with his right foot is the most likely candidate. No, he's left it for Robertson, who swells it in, left-footed towards Salah. It was headed away by Kouyaté.
He was on his own again, wasn't he, Salah? Inside the box. He's escaped his markers very well today without really doing anything in the game.
Alexander-Arnold into the box again. Van Dijk is there, cushions the header for Firmino, who stood on the ball and lost balance and enabled Ryan Yates to push the ball away to find Aurier. Now it's Johnson, back to Aurier. Serge Aurier has spotted a player across on the near side, but he can't find him. It was Gibbs White. Jordan Henderson had read that intention. Henderson gets the ball forward, but it goes out of play in front of Mo Salah. Benjamin Frimpong says you can't sign 23 players and be relegated after a season. Nottingham Forest should back up and grind out results. That's Benjamin in Ghana. Well, they're doing fairly well at the moment. I think you actually tweeted that before the goal. Michael Antonucci walking Emmett here in Rocky Hill, Connecticut, enjoying the match on an early fall day. That's autumn to us. Still amazed the Gunners are top of the table. And if it can happen for Leicester City, it can happen for us.
Yeah, well said, Michael. You never know.
Well,
looks, proper autumn leaves there.
Mitch Archer says he'd like to see Forest get the win, but he thinks Liverpool will turn it round and win 2-1. We'll wait and see. There is plenty of time.
It's absorbing game.
It is a great game. Yeah, it's really good.
It's like a cup tie.
Yeah,
isn't it? This is like a real classic cup tie.
They were always big, these games between Liverpool and Forest. We mentioned the tragedies that we can't escape. But there have been huge games between these two clubs in the 1970s and 80s, particularly when it was Brian Clough in charge and Bob Paisley. They were, hang on, here are Forest coming forward. It's a chance for Yates, and it deflected. And Allison almost spilt it at the foot of a Forest attacker there. It came at him very awkwardly, and the Brazilian goalkeeper just about clung on as Ryan Yates looked for his second goal of the season, his first in the Premier League, having scored in the League Cup against Grimsby. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold finding Harvey Elliott. We're running out of time slowly for Liverpool. It's 13 minutes now between them and what would be an ignominious defeat, with all respect to Nottingham Forest. Aurier's clipped it behind for a corner. And it's nail-biting time for those Trent loyalists, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, they almost had their second. Allison spilled that shot. It was a bit of a bobbler from Yates. That, by the way, was Forest's 7th shot on target.
Incredible, isn't it?
I mean, this is a team that had none against Brighton. And, barely any this season, really. So it's been some effort from Forest.
Here's the corner. It's an outswinger. It's met by Van Dijk. Cook gets it clear, but not completely. And then it's headed away, back by Elliott, and Forest might break here again. But Joe Gomez has just toe-poked it out of play, and Jurgen Klopp is furious in his dugout. He is absolutely seething, isn't he?
It's a poor performance from Liverpool. I mean, there is effort there, I guess, to get themselves back into the game, but I'm not seeing huge amounts of urgency either from them. As Mangala prepares to come on, it's another sort of strong midfield presence. I mean, Steve Cooper's unashamedly looking to shut this game down, isn't he?
Why not? Who wouldn't? I mean, this, as I say, psychologically, as much as points-wise, this could be significant, to say the least, for Forest. Here's Aurier, try to find Johnson. Now it's Yates, back out to Aurier again. He just delays his pass, but does find Johnson. Back to Aurier. Aurier skipped round the challenge of Robertson into the box. Oh, it almost came for Renan Lodi, but not quite. And then there's a foul by Ryan Yates on Curtis Jones, and Liverpool have a free kick.
Yeah, that clock is still moving pretty slowly if you're of a Forest persuasion, but we're almost into the final 10 minutes. And, Forest are almost growing in confidence here. I think they really do believe, this group of players, that they can see this out.
Well, as I say, it's the first time I've done a full commentary on them. I've been very impressed. I mean, I've seen them on bits and pieces of them on TV. I watched the Brighton game in midweek on the Italian. I mean, it wasn't great, but they're making a substitution now, I think, with is it Kouyate going on, who had a good surge a moment ago, which led to that shot by Yates, which dribbled into Allison's glove. So Cheikhou Kouyate comes off, and in his place comes the Belgian central midfield player Orel Mangala, another one of the summer arrivals from Hamburg in Germany. We're into the last 10 minutes. Come On You Reds is being sung by Nottingham Forest fans rather than Liverpool. The Liverpool fans have been quiet today, haven't they?
Well,
I've heard a lot of them.
No,
they always travel in good numbers and in good voice normally, but
I thought the same.
They seem subdued.
They are subdued, and they were at Arsenal when I was there the other week. Really, really quiet. I just think they're in a state of shock at what they're seeing.
Here's Henderson, chips it forward. Here's Jones trying to get away from his man. Brilliant play by Aurier, draws the foul. Brilliant defending that. Really, really good defending. Aurier timed his run right, run the ball, and then cleverly, when he was lent on, knew that he was going to get a free kick.
This is the best I've ever seen Sergio Aurier play.
Just better. Never saw him play for Spurs.
He's been brilliant defensively. He hasn't tried to overdo it going forward either. You've got to say that Cooper's tactical move has kind of been a positive as well. Even though I thought Awoniyi should have stayed on because of his outlet up top. Going 5-5-0 as in a way, worked fine for them.
They've had more attempts on goal, Forest, than Liverpool have. They've had more on target. Liverpool, really, to be honest, Dean Henderson will be thinking, well, that was a fairly routine afternoon. I mean, assuming he keeps his clean sheet.
Well, let's see.
He's only kept one clean sheet in 9, but that was against Brighton in the week. So Johnson's gone down holding his head, which will mean a break in play. And Van Dijk is summoning the physio and holding his right ankle. That does not look good.
Oh dear.
Johnson's going to be okay. It's a head injury. I mean that in the sense that we've stopped for that. But I don't know what happened to Virgil van Dijk there, but he is in trouble.
He just twists his ankles. There was a little bit of his toe went into the turf. It was quite innocuous. Didn't look massive. Well, I mean, if they lost Van Dijk as well, I mean, that would be disastrous.
He doesn't look good, does he? Still on the deck. So too is Johnson, but I think Johnson's getting the sort of concussion protocol. Steve Cooper is not betraying any emotion. He's wearing a jacket with a sort of rainbow motif down the back of it. It's quite stylish, more so than Jurgen Klopp's puffer. Van Dijk is in conversation with medical staff who are on the pitch tending to him. Johnson is also still sat on the turf, so we're going to have a bit of a break. Gives me a chance to go through what we've got coming up for you. Manchester City Brighton at 3 o'clock with the estimable Russell Hargreaves and Hogan Ephraim. Then at 5:30 I should say, Chelsea against Manchester United, the big weekend fixture with Tom Rennie and Paul Parker. Also this afternoon at 3 it's Everton Palace. Then tomorrow Adrian Clark and all you listeners in America will be getting tremendously excited at 2 o'clock because the leaders Arsenal will be at Southampton, and then Tottenham against Newcastle, Aston Villa against Brentford, Leeds against Fulham and Wolves against Leicester are also taking place tomorrow. And of course Monday night you can join us for West Ham United against Bournemouth. Here, improbably in terms of the general feeling, but not improbably in terms of the run of play, it's Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool 0, and Liverpool only have 6 minutes or so plus stoppage time to try and get what would even be a point. Now Fabinho, centre midfield, finds Henderson. You almost, as a neutral, hope that Forest hold on because I think they deserve it. Here's Jones. Now it's Robertson, cuts it back, useful ball, and Trent Alexander's header is blocked by Henderson. It was a good connection by Alexander-Arnold, steaming in at the far post, and Henderson did really well to block it because he didn't have much time to see that. It fizzed through the air and it was a good reaction save.
Oh, it's fantastic play from Liverpool. Robertson digs out a wonderful cross and Alexander-Arnold attacks it, gets in front of Gibbs-White. He's only 6 yards out, loads of pace on the header, but Henderson saves. It's you're beginning to get that feeling now that this might not be Liverpool's day.
Well,
if you don't turn up in away games with the right attitude and you're not sharp and you're a little bit depleted anyway, you're vulnerable. And Forest they've dug in so well.
16 years since Liverpool last went 5 away games at the start of a season without winning, and they've lost the ball here. Yates finding Gibbs-White. Can Forest get a goal which will send them into dreamland? It's Yates! Oh, he's missed it! That should have been game, set, match, but he's put it over the bar with his left foot. It was a lovely move. They won the ball initially. Yates to Morgan Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White with the flick over the top. Yates made the perfect run, miles onside, and it was saved actually by Alisson. I didn't see that initially. It's actually a brilliant save by the Liverpool keeper. I thought he'd skewed it wide, and that is magnificent goalkeeping, or that would have been it.
It's marvellous, isn't it, from Alisson? Absolutely outstanding save. The football, so good from Forest on the turnover, and I just lit red there on the replay. Yates saying that is unbelievable, that save. But again, another turnover, another Guiltez chance for Nottingham Forest. Liverpool are all over the place.
They've been awful today. Here's a corner. It's a deep outswinger towards Aurier, flicked away by Van Dijk, who seems to be okay. Thankfully for Liverpool, who've got centre halves missing. In comes the ball from out wide, but it's gathered by Alisson, who's made a couple of good saves today. He bowls it out quickly to Harvey Elliott. Elliott on the front foot. Out to Oxlade-Chamberlain, who's come onto the pitch. Good to see him back for his first appearance of the season after another injury. He's had so many of them. A hamstring problem. He's on for the final 4 minutes plus whatever is added on, but his cross was a poor one. It went straight at Henderson. When was the last time that Mo Salah touched the ball in this game?
Yeah,
he's been absolutely peripheral, hasn't he? Not necessarily his fault, but he hasn't really made any contribution to this match of any great note.
No, he hasn't. No, he's been anonymous for much of it. And when the ball has come to him, he's fluffed his lines on a couple of occasions. I remember saying in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game, I like Forest mindset tonight. They're aggressive. They want to get in the face of Liverpool and unsettle them. And they've done it all game. Okay, they've dropped deeper and deeper and deeper. But whenever there's been a challenge to be made, Nottingham Forest have not shied away from it. They've been really bang up for this. And I applaud them for their efforts. Whether they go on to win this or not, they should feel very proud of this performance.
Well, if this result stands and Arsenal win tomorrow, Liverpool would be 14 points adrift of the top spot. I mean, that is huge, isn't it?
It is.
If City win later on, they'd go to 26. That would be 10 above Liverpool.
Wow. They're not
with the same number of games having been played.
They're not catching City. You can't give City a 10-goal head start.
Catching Arsenal at the moment. They'll struggle to catch Newcastle and Man United.
Honestly, they'll struggle to make top four if they don't improve their defending, because they've been so vulnerable this season compared to other years.
2 minutes left at the City ground, which will explode if the whistle blows at this scoreline, but it hasn't yet. And Fabinho touches it, but Renan Lodi has been penalised for a foul on Harvey Elliott just outside the penalty area. It was clumsy from him, a little bit silly as well.
He just got too tight.
Already gone, but this offers an opportunity. It's not necessarily the right side of the area for Trent Alexander-Arnold, but there are plenty of people in a Liverpool shirt who are capable. Trent Alexander-Arnold does have the ball in his hands. Harvey Elliott is there as well. It's to the right of centre. It's about 23 yards from Dean Henderson's goal line. We're in the 90th minute of the game. Freuler has been booked.
It's in a great
presumably for protesting. It was definitely not his foul, was it?
There's a huge area here for Alexander-Arnold to aim for.
It's going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold, you suspect. There are 5 white shirts in the box to aim at, but he may go for goal, although it's not an easy one off a right footer. He's got to put a lot of curl to get that inside the near post. This could be a huge moment. In it comes Van Dijk, across goal and wide. Trent Alexander-Arnold didn't go for goal. He picked out Van Dijk back post. Van Dijk got ahead of his man, volleyed it. It went flying across Dean Henderson's goal, and to the delight of Nottingham Forest, away on the other side and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's a great delivery.
It is.
And it's a difficult volley for Van Dijk. No criticism really of his effort. In a way, a little bit like earlier on, I think he's trying to go back across the face of goal for a teammate and no one's there. And it's 5 minutes on the clock.
It'll feel like 55, won't it, for Forest fans?
Well, Liverpool don't deserve anything out of this game.
I agree with you. Here's Serge Aurier, who's been brilliant at right back. Gets a deflected ball forward towards McGibbs-White, who gets a touch. Brennan Johnson will head for the corner flag. and he's kept possession, and he's flicked it infield. It's a clever ball, but Fabinho scraped it away, but it comes out instead to Freuler. And now Forest have they won themselves a corner? No, they haven't. The ball had already gone out when it was deflected behind, so it's a Liverpool throw close to the corner flag, but almost a minute of those 5 have been added on. Steve Cooper gesticulating wildly on the threshold potentially of only his second win as Nottingham Forest manager in the Premier League. Here's Curtis Jones. Great teams, and I'm not saying Liverpool have been great today, but great teams do have a habit, don't they, of rescuing situations like this. Can Liverpool? Robertson crosses, it deflects, it's
I've got the corner.
It came off Joe Worrell. And, well, this is absolutely gut-wrenching for Forest fans.
It really is, and Alisson's coming up.
Is going up.
He's got a...
Do you remember?
He's done this before.
May 2021 against West Bromwich Albion. Well, that tells you how badly Liverpool needs something. And, of course, this is to get a point, not a win. In it comes. Alisson's there. Van Dijk's there. What a save!
Oh,
what
my goodness.
a save by Henderson. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant goalkeeping. He might just have preserved the 3 points for his side. Van Dijk, bullet header, low to the keeper's left. It's fantastic, the save. And that sums up Forest's desire today. He has scooped that off the line somehow, and then it was cleared by Yates. And Henderson is saying to his defenders, think, concentrate, do not congratulate me, get on with it. But the ball came off a Liverpool player last. And, well, as moments go, that save the Nottingham Forest fans will be talking about for a long time.
That is one of the saves of the season so far. No doubt about it. That was unbelievable. Because Van Dijk is free. He's 6 yards out. It's a brilliant header. It's low. It's to the keeper's left. I don't know how he keeps it out, and from the follow-up, Alisson almost scores, but I think he makes the foul.
It was Yates, wasn't it, who's had a good game? Everybody in a Forest shirt's had a good game, but they've got another corner to defend
this,
here.
This is the replay.
Sorry, I'm looking at the monitor instead of the pitch. So much.
I mean, he should score. I mean, it's a bad miss, but what a save! Unreal from Henderson.
Away by Freuler. Back to Trent Alexander-Arnold. 2 minutes left. Alexander-Arnold stumbles, but he still manages to find Fabinho, and then with his right foot drives it long. Cook gets his head to it. It's nodded further away by McKenna. Now it's Serge Aurier who clips it forward, but straight at Van Dijk. Henderson over the top. Header away by Worrell. Firm header too to take it across halfway. 1.5 minutes for Liverpool to find an equaliser. The fans have already started whistling, but there's still work to be done for their red-shirted heroes, and that's a good tackle by Yates. Aurier's gone down. They want a free kick from referee Paul Tierney. Aurier is still on the deck. Well,
it's tough coming up from the Championship, isn't it? It's really hard going, but if you can get a day like this one, all the pain of struggling week in, week out is worth it. If you get a day like this.
Last minute, Alexander-Arnold into the box, it flicks away. Salah will let it run out for a throw-in to Liverpool off Steve Cook's head, and Joe Gomez is going to try and manufacture something with a long throw. Could be Liverpool's last chance. In it comes over the Salah! Oh, it tipped over by Henderson. It came across to Mo Salah via a Liverpool head, and he's nodded it under the bar, but Henderson was there too, and he's pushed it to safety. And it's another corner, and this is unbearable for Forest fans. There are literally 15 seconds left. It's now or never for Liverpool. It's Trent Alexander-Arnold into the box. It's headed away. Tierney hasn't yet blown. The Forest fans are beseeching him to do so as the ball comes back in. It's headed away by Worrell.
There's no goalkeeper.
And suddenly here's Gibbs White and Brennan Johnson with no keeper. Fires it off the post. Would you believe it? Incredible, absolutely unbelievable drama here. And still the referee lets play go on. But that is it.
Nottingham Forest have pulled off one of the shock results of the season with a 1-0 win over Liverpool, who are still winless away from home. A magnificent performance by Steve Cooper's men. The goal that won it, scored by Taiwo Awoniyi 10 minutes into the second half. But Dean Henderson produced one of the saves of the season from Virgil van Dijk to protect the victory. Nottingham Forest are off the bottom of the table above Leicester City. Liverpool have now endured their worst run of away results at the start of a season for 16 years. It has finished amid scenes of utter ecstasy on the banks of the River Trent. Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool 0 on Premier League Live. It's a good header away by Yates, but it's come back to Milner, and Milner will deliver again, and there's Van Dijk. Oh my goodness me, what a miss that is.
This is one of the worst misses I've ever seen.
It looks like a Virgil van Dijk defensive header.
Is he trying to tee up a teammate?
What's he doing?
He has to go for goal there.
Free kick to Forest, taken by Morgan Gibbs-White. Here's Steve Cook, who bounced it into the box. It's hit the post, but Awoniyi has put it into the net, and Nottingham Forest have the lead. Cook's cross from the right hand side. The initial effort came back off an upright, but Taiwo Awoniyi was there to get his third goal of the season. It is a huge goal. Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool 0.
Awoniyi won't celebrate against his former club, but everybody else inside the City ground is going absolutely bonkers. Really, really calm from the Nottingham Forest striker. And wow, we do have a game on our hands now.
Forest are breaking now in search of a second. Kuyate's in space. Here's Gibbs-White. Oh, what a block by Milner.
How important might this turn out to be from James Milner? What a break. I don't think Gibbs-White can do too much more. It's just sensational defending.
Here are Forest coming forward. It's a chance for Yates, and it deflected. Allison almost spilt it at the foot of a Forest attacker there. It came at him very awkwardly, and the Brazilian goalkeeper just about clung on. Here's Jones. Now it's Robertson. Cuts it back. Useful ball. And Trent Alexander's header is blocked by Henderson. It was a good connection by Alexander-Arnold, steaming in at the far post, and Henderson did really well to block it.
Loads of pace on the header, but Henderson saves. You begin to get that feeling now that this might not be Liverpool's day.
Yates finding Gibbs-White. Can Forest get a goal? We should send them into dreamland. It's Yates. Oh, he's missed it. That should have been game, set, match, but he's put it over the bar with his left foot.
Allison's coming up.
He's going up.
He's got a.
Do you remember?
He's done this before.
May 2021 against West Bromwich Albion. In it comes. Allison's there. Van Dijk's there. What a save!
Oh,
what a save by Henderson! Absolutely brilliant, brilliant goalkeeping. Brilliant goalkeeping, brilliant everything from Nottingham Forest, Adrian. I mean, we're going to call it a shock result. Yes, it's a shock on paper. It's not a shock on the balance of play today, because Forest were by miles the better team.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest absolutely deserve this victory. They've got so many new faces. They're still strangers, but this was a monumental team effort. They worked so well as a collective, but they created the better chances. They had a game plan, and it worked like a dream for Steve Cooper. They had 7 shots on target in this match, Nottingham Forest, and they had the clearer efforts. They tormented Liverpool's back line, and when they didn't have the ball, I just thought that the way they put their bodies on the line to block everything, and Henderson as the last line of defence was brilliant. It was an epic effort from a brave team, and what this will do for Nottingham Forest is huge. I think it's a big afternoon for them.
Absolutely huge afternoon. Adrian, thanks to you as ever. Thanks to everybody listening. Sorry I couldn't read all the tweets out, but I really enjoyed the ones that we were able to read out. If you're a Liverpool fan, you'll be crying into your beer this evening. Another away day without a win, and Nottingham Forest are off the bottom of the table for the time being at least. But what a huge boost this has been to their overall battle to stay in the Premier League. Hope you've enjoyed listening to it with us. I'm John Anderson signing off. Have a great weekend.
on Premier League Live.